One of my favourite stories in SnoreLab is the story of Brian and how we actually discovered a new treatment for snoring. Brian was one of the early SnoreLab testers. I'd never met him in person, but he was almost an enthusiast who contacted me. At some point, he was sending me recordings, and I was processing these recordings, and there was no snoring in them. And I was just amazed, and I was convinced that there must be something wrong in the app, that it was showing so little snoring for Brian. But then at some point he told me he was trying a new strategy and it had completely fixed his snoring. This is something that there was no information about at the time. And what he was doing was sleeping on a wedge pillow, so in an inclined sleeping position. These wedge pillows were often sold for reflux, acid reflux, which is a completely different condition. But essentially, instead of lying flat in the bed, you lie at an angle. You can imagine that if you're lying in a flat position with your head on a pillow, a normal pillow, there's actually a compression at this point in your neck. And this is a common cause of snoring. If you instead sleep on an inclined sleeping position, pressure on your airway, instead of being down into it, is actually changed. It's at an angle and there's more kind of elongation of your neck. And it turns out that this is an amazingly effective treatment for snoring for many people. There was no information about this treatment, available at the time. Building on Brian's story, I added the wedge pillow to SnoreLab as a treatment option, and it turns out that this is indeed one of the most effective snoring treatments for a large population of people. And there was just no awareness of this, but through SnoreLab, through the connections and through the platform that it's provided to reach so many people who suffer from snoring, this wedge pillow or inclined sleeping position is now well established and well known as a really effective snoring treatment.